basically a three-part system to get the mindset piece right. That 5 inches between the ears that really determine whether our plan sticks or not. So we've gone through a lot of this in the past, but it's a bit of a refresher. First is like downloading better inner software with a daily vibe check to keep you from kind of falling down that rabbit hole of negativity, and ensuring that we stay in at least a neutral emotional state. Great if we're in a high emotional state more often than not, but that's obviously not realistic, and referring to that emotional guidance scale. So don't get caught up in that. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, we do have the information we can send you after. So then we go into beliefs, like those 4 questions to break bad beliefs. What are the e-brakes holding us back that we don't realize, and just kind of making the subconscious conscious. And today we're kind of putting all that woo-woo into actionable steps with what I call the alignment audit. Okay. Because hopefully you understand, in order to change in any capacity of life, but certainly when it comes to fitness, we need to adopt the identity of a fit person. If we're out of shape, we can't have the identity of an out of shape person up here, or we'll continue to make the wrong choices too often and stay stuck. So we have to kind of match our beliefs with our habits and day-to-day desires. So ultimately the question to ask is like, what people, that's a tricky one for sure. In your inner circle, we don't want to disconnect from friends, family, or otherwise, but we want to surround ourselves with people that are going to help support our goals. What habits or things are affecting your ability to adopt this new identity? Okay, so some ideas. Maybe it's, you've got a bad habit about staying up too late watching Netflix. Maybe that's paired with late night snacking or separate too. What I call too many drinks on school nights. And a school night meaning a work day. But ideally it's Sunday through Friday, Sunday through Saturday, frankly, to minimize the damage there, because we know that can be a trigger for bad sleep, which obviously causes a cascade effect. It's a big one. Surround yourself with people who are also into a healthy lifestyle. Amen to that. Social media scrolling, big one, right? A lot of people say they don't have time for walking or fitness, and then we look at their screen time and it's 4 hours a day. You can certainly pair some of that scrolling with exercise, but cutting it back for things that better serve you, awesome. Maybe it's not enough white space, which I talk about just simply unplugging, having a no phone zone, getting away from it all at times to focus on you. And then, like we talked about, sometimes who you surround yourself makes or breaks you. If you have what I would call energy draining vampires that are, friends apparently, that lead you to the wrong choices, that can be difficult. You may have to distance yourself or set some expectations with them. Quote being, hang around 4 fit people and you'll be the 5th. So that's what this community is about. So let's get to work on this. What's the biggest thing pulling your identity in the wrong direction right now? We just want you to ID 1 to workshop today, and then we're going to give you some actionable steps. So the example here, poor sleeping patterns related to work. Well, politically correct answer is no phone zone. I call it the Amish hour. 30 minutes before bed without a phone. You can move that to full 60. Awesome. Maybe you need to supplement if you're really hard time toning down at night, whatever that might look like to you. We certainly want to discuss that with your medical professionals. And maybe it's a walk before bed. Maybe it's a hot shower. Maybe it's a hot tub if you got one of those. And then the last piece to that puzzle would be the 3-2-1, 3 hours before bed. No more work, 2 hours, no more food and drink, 1 hour, no more screens. Sorry, I'm having a hard time seeing the chat. It's like disappearing on me. Yeah, Beth. If Amish helps it stick in your mind, excellent. Okay, so I actually threw one in here, Diane, because we spoke on this last week. Eating too fast or like looking for snacks after dinner. So we talked about potentially eating slower without devices, distractions, and swapping, just making better choices for those snacks. And then maybe try to reduce the stimulus of having 3 laptops, screens, TVs going on, and all the downsides to that. All right. So first off, we'll ask for a volunteer, and then I'm gonna actually call on a few people to workshop this. So Bev, you chimed in. So if you're available to unmute, it looks like you're on a computer. Let's start with you. Put the name in the wrong spot
All
there.
right.
So what would be that low-hanging fruit? Snacking at night was one example. Eating too fast.
Yeah, for sure. Um, around about 8:30, it's like, oh, need a snack, need something sweet.
Okay, yes.
So,
Okay. Very common.
yeah.
We all tend to have times in our day. Well, it's habit driven partly, but other part of it is just like when you finally get time to exhale from the day,
Hmm.
it's like, okay, now I'm kind of bored. What can I fill the gap with? And oftentimes, food is the thing we reach for. So, what would be the action steps when you get that craving? Like sit with it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, or try something else like, protein bar or go for
yeah,
a walk.
right. The swap don't suppress idea. Yeah, I like that. So,
Yeah.
some days you might just not be feeling the walk. It's cold, whatever. So then that's when you fit something into your nutrition that might have a better balance of macros. So protein bar versus sweets. At the same time, you won't always win. The protein bar may not satisfy. And like, you know what, I just want to indulge a bit here. What we often do is like, I'll call it, limit the damage. Meaning ice cream sandwich versus opening up a tub of ice cream that can lend itself to too much. Something that's controlled with the barcode, less than 200 calories. So
Yeah.
better option. Logical versus entire tub. What else would kind of help you kind of focus in these moments? Check. Anything else that comes to mind? We could have definitely some write-in entries from the group as well. I just can't see the chat. It's this thing on my end. Steve talked about the high protein snack. There it is. Anything else? We don't need 3 action steps, but it's good to have a fallback if one of them doesn't solve the issue in the moment. I think Abby talks about just like having a 10-minute breather. Okay, before I indulge here, let's just sit with it, distract ourselves, relax. If we still want the thing after that, fine, right? But sometimes just that pause to get into our prefrontal cortex helps.
Yes.
Steve, drink water and wait. Yeah, we'll put that. Doesn't mean that it'll definitely solve it, but it gives you a chance to reflect, focus on the big picture and your goals and so on. Okay. Anything else there, Bev?
No, I think those are all great ideas. I think
Okay,
for sure for me.
perfect. Awesome. Appreciate you being voluntold to do that. Anyone else? Maybe one that isn't related to snacking at night so we can workshop something different. Any takers?
Hi
Jackie,
there.
what's going on?
Hi. I'm always struggling with trying to get to sleep on time. And I'm working on it and it's getting better, but I mean, I can use all the help I can get.
Okay, so is it self-inflicted or you just have a hard time turning your brain off? Wanting
No, I just feel like I've always got a million things to do. Once the kids are in bed, it's like it's very little downtime. I'm just like cleaning and folding laundry and loading the dishwasher. And there's just like a million things. And then, I might want to have a healthy snack, or I might want to paint my nails. I might want to do something for myself. And then it's like, okay, it's midnight and I still have to, actually start winding down for the night. So that's something that I really struggle with.
Okay. Yeah, no easy answer, especially with parents of young kids, career. The balance is difficult to strike and say, yeah, this is my me time. I'm going to protect it. I'm going to be on Netflix till midnight because I've earned it. So what I'd have you do is like our automate, delegate, eliminate exercise worksheet. So I can send you that. It
Okay.
just helps you audit your day, and then you're like, okay, can I get rid of this? Can someone else do this? Can I get rid of this entirely?
Yeah.
So that would be helpful. So I'll put that in as like 80 worksheets. Realistically, it won't solve all your problems. It might help you identify a few low-hanging fruits. 2 would be just kind of forcing it. So having a hard deadline, hard stop for all that stuff. So that because your next day will be so much better if you don't go past that point of no return, whatever that time is for you. Maybe we have to set a reverse alarm on your phone. So pops up at 10:30. Okay, now it's time to just drop everything. It can wait. Your sleep is the biggest priority at this point in the day. What do you think would work to get you in that headspace to shut down properly?
Well, I've started setting like a bedtime reminder for 11, and then that way, like my goal is to be in bed before midnight, because like I could easily stay up till like 1:30, like just doing stuff, and like not, and that's not even like really doing much like doom scrolling or anything. It's just like getting stuff done. So anyway, I've set my a bedtime reminder for 11, and so that's like my cue to like, okay, kind of like do my bedtime routine. And it's, I think, yeah, I got it. It worked about 3 or 4 times last week. I got to bed on time, yesterday on time. So it's a work in progress.
Okay, I think we got to get Daniel doing some of these things. Is that the problem?
Yeah, that could help.
Okay, we might have to get him on board. If there's that much to do till 1 a.m., we have issues. Yeah, sometimes we need an incentive to get to bed. Like I always say, oh, you breathe out your body fat while you sleep. If you're limiting your sleep, everything else is going to be a struggle. We don't sweat it out. Well, we don't sweat out much of it. It gets converted to carbon dioxide. So sometimes that can be enough. Oh, the plan will work way better if I get my full night's rest, deep sleep, REM sleep. So maybe put that into your reminder too, that the plan will crumble if I don't get my 7 to 8, right?
Yeah.
6 quality. So in your prompt to yourself, remember why you're doing it, why you need sleep, because it really is the foundation to it all. Okay. And then ensuring that sleep is quality. Like they've shown enough in the research that like trying not to have screen exposure in the last at least half hour before bed. Sometimes a hot shower that raises your temperature, like the act of lowering your body temperature, you will get sleepy faster. So maybe there's something you can do at that 11 o'clock to force yourself to be really sleepy within a half hour.
Okay.
I would experiment with the hot shower. Magnesium has kind of a sleepy, element to it, and it's, non-habit forming. So that might be the first supplement to try, if nothing else.
Okay.
But yeah, having that cue. Okay. So we got, I like where Bev is at. Yeah. Breathing exercise. Again, it's like finding a time for this, but like, sometimes when I'm really amped up, like yoga nidra, like on Spotify, like 5 minutes, that just lowers everything and I'm ready for sleep at the end of it. Yeah, that's where my head was at. Who can help?
Yeah.
What can we eliminate? Who can help? Delegate would be the word.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Awesome, Jackie. Anything else on that front?
No, I'd say that's like my main thing I struggle with. Everything else seems to be pretty on track.
Beauty. And what time does your alarm go off again in the morning?
I usually wake up around like 8:30. So even if I go to bed late, I still get like at least 7 hours of sleep. So I'm happy about that at least, but I think it would, be better if I can get to bed earlier.
Yeah, and there's some theory, especially as we get older, like the sleep after midnight, that initial sleep after midnight isn't as good as like from 10 to right. There is some theory behind that, but at the end of the day, the first step is like that 7 hours, however you can get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Do we have one more volunteer? I was late, so I don't know if we can workshop with everyone, nor do I think everyone's willing to workshop, but love to get one more on something not related to sleep or snacking. Anyone have troubles getting their workout in consistently or getting into their head before they work out? Like procrastinating on that front. That's one area I see a lot of, but Maybe not with this group. Okay, well, we'll go through it anyway. Fictional name, workout adherence. Okay. Why does it keep giving me these wrong numbers? I love word for this. Formatting size. Okay, action step 1. Schedule into calendar. Non-negotiable, like anything else that you schedule into your calendar. So I guess it'd be helpful to talk to someone through this, but if you're a morning workout person, then it has to be that first thing you do as soon as you wake up. So to get into that headspace, maybe the gym clothes are set up beside you, or you have your coffee as the cue. Gym clothes on first thing. Okay. 10-minute rule. Meaning, even if you're starting to go through that mental gymnastics, you know what, I just don't have time for this. Start with 10 minutes. Just commit to 10 minutes. Oftentimes it snowballs into more, but 10 is still better than 0. So I always say that if someone has trouble getting into the headspace, they're procrastinating, this is going to hurt, it's going to suck. Just say, you know, you can do anything for 10 minutes. So let's start with that. Yeah, Rob, if you work out of the home, have your workout bag and gear ready. Always a good call. I would say 80% of members do work out at home. So then it's just getting the gym clothes on. One last barrier. Okay. Let's
Mitch.
this. Yeah, who's that? Diane?
Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, like set something up with a friend that likes to exercise or go for walks, etc., even if they're not part of the program. But if you've got a friend or a neighbor that likes to do that kind of thing, and just team up with them.
Yeah, I like that. Workout buddy. The right type of workout buddy. Sometimes they can pull you down as much as prop you up, or say, hey, I'm not going to come today, and then obviously you don't bother. Or they said, hey, let's just go for a drink at the gym. We know those kind of workout buddies. So make sure it's someone that's going to be responsible and helpful. But I like that one, where that's going. There's accountability to that showing up. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good list. Apologies again for jumping on late. If you didn't workshop publicly, then I would encourage you to go through this and just share with me privately. Like, what's that big piece? And then the action steps. It doesn't have to be 3 action steps, but that just seems to fit with the formatting here to give you a plan A, B, C kind of thing and reinforce it. Okay. All good. No final comments. It's a miracle. We ended up still at 12:30. So no, yes, no. Going once, twice. No worries, Bev. I like your commentary in the chat there, Rob, as well. All right. We'll leave it there. You guys have a good rest of your Wednesday. Talk soon. Cheers.